the Irish government don't care about the rules. They just cram people into these buildings, despite the concerns of the local residents. So can you tell me more about this community? You were saying earlier it's a melting pot.
It's a melting pot. They're after bringing in Islamic, Afghanistan, Romas, and plenty of other different ideologies. And it's as simple as this: people are not safe here. Now there's a lot of children having the antisocial behaviour as well. So we have to now make sure that our own people are safe first and foremost. We're in a place in Mahon where people are living at home with their families. We have people living in 3-bedroom houses, probably 8 a house. We're giving over everything, all the resources to foreigners, and we have nothing for ourselves. It's becoming an absolute joke down here. The guards, the politicians don't want nothing to do with it, and it's now becoming very clear that we're on our own down here. The people of this community will have to start standing up, because we're giving over every single thing. There's no school places for our kids. We're building more modular homes over. You were over on that side a while ago. More modular homes. They're building apartment blocks. They closed the guard station. What are we supposed to do? As I said, we're going to have to start doing community watch groups. Simple as. And if we don't start fixing the problems right now, our children and our children's future will be paying for it for a very, very long time. So it's as simple as this. It's now or never to get up off your fucking arses and fight for your children. Excuse my language. But inside here, there's people scared because we have Romas who should not be in this country, who offer absolutely nothing to the communities, scaring women with children. She's rang Neil Prendeville, she's gone on to every single councillor, and what's happened? Nothing.
Needn't ask, I'd say. You're not great. Can you hear me all right?
I can.
Okay. I was looking at some of the backstory involving what's going on in your life. You're young mother to Leon, who's 1, homeless since 15. You eventually, I think I'm right in saying, got your dream home, the home that you had dreamed that you would get, down in the greater Blackrock area some time ago, right? It's a council property, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, but do you share that building then, is that the case?
No, it's my own.
Yeah, okay. Why would it be upstairs neighbours causing an issue then?
Because it's actually a duplex, so mine's like a bungalow almost, you could say, and they're living in the upstairs property then.
Okay, so the building is that's the reason why it's kind of like shared in that regard. And what I know you've been on to the council about this numerous times, but just give us a typical example of what you have to put up with.
So it started off with kind of small things, being parties that would go on for kind of 12 hours a day. Then it would be kind of throwing fag butts down into my garden, into my front garden, throwing beer cans, throwing takeaway cartons, Chinese cartons, dominoes, scraps into my back garden. So I reported that to the council to start with. The council told me to take pictures, get proof and come back. So I did. I took pictures of everything. I came back. I reported it. They sent someone out to talk to him, and from there then it just got completely and utterly worse.
Because we're left alone to deal with the multicultural shit show, the melting pot of ideologies that have no place in our country. No place. And it's about time now, as I say, if the Irish want to look after the Irish children and make sure that the Irish children have a future in this country, you need to start standing up and fighting for that. Is that okay?
So tell me about some of the violence you mentioned that's happened. Like I'm looking at this estate now, and I'm seeing kids everywhere. But you're saying actually there's a lot of violence that happens literally where we are now.
Yes. So there's 2 people have been on to me that their children are being sent out with weapons and starting what I would say childish fights. Then
childish fights with weapons.
With weapons. Now I've been told by 2 different people on that. These have been reported and been ignored. So again, as I say, we have to do our own community watch at the moment to make sure that people are safe. Now, every time I come over here, it seems quiet. It seems like this. But that's not saying that these people aren't lying. I can't say what these people are seeing, but there's 3 households at least here that are terrified for their safety. Romas and Afghanistan Muslims. Now again, what is Islam doing in my country? They're fleeing They're fleeing oppression, they say, yet they're bringing all their oppression over here. How is that? How is that right? If you want to flee oppression, you come over here and you respect the rules of my country, and that's simple. That's as simple as it is for me. Assimilation is assimilating to my culture, not us assimilating to their culture. So this community, it's a melting pot of foreign ideologies, and it is ready, and I mean ready, to explode. They talk about assimilation. Why then are they segregating? If you put a whole community of Ukrainians into one area, is that assimilation? That's segregating a complete, entire society into one area. That is not how we build a society. That's not how people get on with each other, because it happens that now people are looking in from the outside and saying, hang on a second.
Why are they getting modular houses?
And we're staying at home with Mammy and Daddy. Have you looked down at Mahon, the cycle lanes? Now people can't even park outside their own houses. Most houses have probably 2-3 cars. Now you can't park outside Mammy's, where you're living again, because you can't get a house in this country while we give over there's plenty of bills happening. Building houses left, right and centre, housing estates. The majority of them right now are being sold to Indians. Brand new housing estates where the majority of the houses are being sold to Indians. They talk about housing crisis. No wonder there's a fucking housing crisis.
So the irony of when it comes to housing crisis here in Ireland, when it comes to Irish nationals, when I first came over here, when I worked at Rebel News, there was 11,000 people on the emergency housing list. However, they couldn't house them all. They actually said, we don't have the houses for you. Fast forward a few years and we're looking at 6 figures when it comes to the people that have come to Ireland for a better life. Now, having just been in a housing estate where it is, as Ger said, a melting pot of cultures, just down the road, the Irish government are providing this housing for all scheme. But is it housing for all or housing for all except the Irish?